So talking about how to build more on that non-oil exports, we certainly need skills, and we'll be talking about entrepreneurial skills, in Nigerians. Now let's look at the children. Perhaps if we catch them young, it might be easier. So talking about inculcating skills into the curriculum of children. Let's discuss that now with two individuals right here in the studio. We have Mags Barnes. She is the Group CEO of eStars, joining us. And you're not a Nigerian. I'm going to ask you why you're interested in Nigeria, but I just wanted to give you a heads up so you'll be ready for it. And then there's Joe Popola. He's obviously a Nigerian, but he's the African lead of eStars. Thank you so much for coming into the studio this afternoon. So I'll start with Mags, obviously. Yeah. You came into Nigeria for this purpose, empowering the young ones. Tell me why you think this is necessary and why Nigeria?
Yeah, thank you very much for welcoming us here today. I'm delighted to be in Nigeria. I am the CEO of eStars, which is an educational esports company which was formed in the UK. We have entities around the world, and we really wanted to enter the African continent. And with the help of my great colleague Joel, he encouraged us that Nigeria was a perfect place to launch eStars in Africa. In terms of what the country wants to achieve, in terms of the size of the population, and really the desire to bring something new to the population.
It may be too early, but I hope you're not coming to take our talents away. It's no longer news that Africa, the continent, has the youngest population at this time. When it comes to vibrancy and talent, you have them in Nigeria, and obviously it's a good one to catch them young. But how do you want to do this? Are you going into schools? The curriculum is being set by the government. Are you coming through that? Or how exactly do you think this is going to work?
So it's an esports educational platform. It's called the Esports Club, the eStars Esports Club. And on the platform, we have used the power of gaming as a new form of education. So use the power of when the students are playing games, they learn key skills, such as leadership, time management, empowerment, lots of these different skills. And we're working with all of the different school groups. We launched last month at the British High Commissioner's residence. And now when the schools are back in coming weeks, we're really looking forward to introducing our product, introducing our platform to all of the schools.
Let me go to Mr. Popola now. What areas are you looking at? So we know that when you talk about the elites in Nigeria, a lot of those students are already, they're exposed to some of these things. But we know that the people who really need this, and those in the lower cadre of income, and we know the areas where they are. So could you tell us how you want to reach those people who really need this? So it doesn't end in Ikoyi and Lekki.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ini. Thanks for having us in the studio this afternoon. It's of interest to all Nigerians that we have this launched, not in Southern Africa as it was planned by Max, because I wear two hats. I'm the chair for the UK Institute of Directors Africa Group, where we facilitate British businesses into the continent of Africa.
I'll take you up on another day.
Okay, no problems. And then also lead eStars in Africa. So we are looking at both the public schools and also the private schools, and we are working closely with the stakeholders, the enablers.
Who are the stakeholders in this case?
The stakeholder is almost everybody, or the government. We have the NGOs, the British Deputy High Commission and the British High Commissions. We are looking at the brands, top brands. We have meetings with Lavage, we have meetings with Dangote, we have meetings with Nestle, banks, we have signed MOU with banks. So we are looking at people that can really enable these children. MTN, we have had meeting with MTN, we have reached out to Glo to make sure that we are able to get this across to everybody. What saddened me most in Nigeria educational system is the number of out-of-school children, which I know is very significant. Nigeria has the the highest number of out-of-school children in the world. We want to see how we can win these children, some of them back into education, while they are playing games that they love to play. If you give your phone to a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old, you'll be amazed the way they navigate to start playing game. But while they are playing game, they can learn certain skills unconsciously. They can learn creativity, they can learn problem solving, they can learn decision making, teamwork, because we set tasks into the game for them. So, for example, we can have on Minecraft, which they love to play, you can construct a 64 by 64 hospital. That is the instruction, and within that, they need to have numeracy to know the number of blocks that they need to use to construct the hospital. They need to have creativity to know whether the hospital needs to have accident and emergency. So all these things are...
Where do you meet these children?
We meet them in what they love most.
No, I mean the location.
Okay.
Geographical location.
We have partnered with schools. Schools,
okay.
Yeah. So we're partnered
schools
with
of
schools.
what level?
It's open to everybody. We are talking at the moment to Superb in Lagos State, which is public school. We have schools from Ibadan to Ilorin. Since we launched in July this year, so we are hoping to get almost everybody involved at all levels, age 7 to age 16.
Okay, 7 to 16, that's the target.
Yeah, that is the target age for them. And because this is also done in conjunction with school, then the school has absolute control on the time they spend on the screen. The school has absolute control on the time they spend to do their task. So it is really in the hands of the school, so that we are not teaching them to game, we are teaching them to learn.
So, Max, tell me, how do you measure success, your targets? You understand? You are working in conjunction with the school. Do you go back to the school for feedback? Do you test the children to know? How do you measure impact?
Yeah, we had a pilot program back at the start of this year with Priestland schools, and it was so successful. And for me, the fact that all of the children were engaged, they all love the platform. They also give us very good feedback in the platform, and that was what propelled us. That was when I knew this is going to be a success, because our key clients are the students and what they're learning from it and what they're engaged in it. We also speak as well with the student parent groups and associations to get the parent feedback as well, and the feedback has just been amazing. So I'm really confident the more schools that get involved, the more students that become engaged in it, they're learning key skills through a new way of educating them, thinking towards the future.
So are you done with, you said it's 7 to 18 years?
7 to 16
7
years.
to 16 years,
Yeah.
and then you do what? And then you leave them to somebody. I'm talking of sustainability now.
There is a pathway in this for the age 7 to 12, 13, 14. It's purely for them to get engaged on our platform, where they have certain certifications for activities that they are doing on the platform. But because also on the other side of education in Nigeria is the number of students who have passed through the secondary school, but they couldn't gain admission to higher institutions. And that is in hundreds of thousands. We are trying to introduce the BTech, which is another pathway now, which is absolutely fantastic in many countries around the world. Students can go through A-levels to the university, through JAMB to the university, but through the BTech education also, they should be able to get their desired courses done, not necessarily through the JAMB. So if they have another pathway through the BTech, we are partnering with Pearson Education. We are the only...
So that means, I mean, for you to talk about certificates and for the certificate to be recognized, you're working with the government.
Yeah. We are working with the government. We are working at
I know you mentioned Superb.
At the state level. Okay. We are working at the national level, at the federal level, and these are the people that I refer to as the enablers. We need to work closely with all the stakeholders to ensure that there are other pathways for students. In UK, for example, we have apprenticeship, which students who want to do engineering will not want to go to the university. They want to go to Jaguar or to Nissan as an apprentice, and then they will be sponsored by this company in the university, and they will still have their qualifications. Accountants, most of them in the UK go through PwC or through Deloitte as an apprentice, and they become a chartered accountant.
You know, Mr. Kukola, that makes me remember that when we think of, we have the, I think it's the apprenticeship, the Igbo.
Yeah, the Igbo.
Do you understand? This is just giving it a structure.
Which is a case studies even in Oxford.
Which we are discarding, unfortunately.
Yeah, in Harvard. I know there was a case study on Igbo apprenticeship in Harvard business school, which I also have done also in Oxford. So it is huge opportunity for Nigeria to be flexible with education, not rigid to the conventional way of education, but let's explore other alternatives that we have to ensure that we get these children to have the skills of the century. We built the first classroom of the future in Riyadh, which was launched by Cambridge University last year in November. And what we are saying about the concept of the classroom of the future is that you can't teach the skill of the future in the classroom of the past. And Riyadh was the first country in the world to have a physical classroom called the Classroom of the Future through the MISC Foundation's Riyadh schools.
So, Max, I don't know how long or how much you know about Nigeria, but the issue of power, infrastructure, internet penetration, these are realities here. I don't know if you've met with any of those challenges, if there's a plan to overcome them for sustainability of your program in the country.
Yeah, I think as Joel mentioned, we are speaking with the telecoms companies that control broadband, that control all the internet issues and things like that, to work with it, because we want to make this as accessible as we can to everyone. As Joel mentioned, all of our after school club, our level 1, which is a certificate, our level 2, level 3 certificates, formal qualifications in esports, our BTEC in esports, the business of esports. And that's really important. But we've totally taken that on board, and we're speaking to the relevant stakeholders to make sure this is a huge success.
All right, so success for you at this point is success for Nigeria's future. Yeah. So we certainly pray for success with you. Max Vine is Group CEO of eStars, and then Mr. Joel Popola, Africa Lead of eStars. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, let's take a break now. When we come back from that break, we'll head to the market with Aniti Edit. Stay with us.